steaks and nothing but steaks.
I want to put some salt on there about 45 minutes before I cook it. Can't go wrong with a RT 700 Recteq.
Jess Pryles Hardcore Carnivore.
Oh, look at that, see? That.
I'm proud to serve that. It's time to get into some serious seasoning, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, you know, if we're gonna cook these in the next hour or so, I want to go ahead and get them seasoned up so that they'll be good to go. And I think, you know, as you do, the Boars Night Out, White Lightning, or BNO, as you like to call it at GrillGrate, is one of the best things to start off with. So obviously you see I kind of keep it up high and I give it a little sprinkle so I can kind of vector it. The only problem with this, and it's not a big problem, but you know, I got it on the cutting board and it goes everywhere, but it does lay down a nice even coat, which is the reason why this is the preferred method for doing this. One thing that I usually do just to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner is I'll take them, put them together like that, so that way I won't have a whole lot of overspray, as it were, or overshake. And then after I've done that, what most cooks will do is they kind of take the steak up and they just use that to kind of pick up, blot up all the excess seasoning. But I think this will give us a nice base coat on these and give it an opportunity to start pulling that flavor in, so it's not just on that bite on top, but you get it a little bit further in.
Talk to me a little bit about duck fat. When do you bring that in?
That's an excellent question. And we're obviously going to be cooking on the reverse sear. We'll be cooking on regular grates, but usually you're cooking on your grill grates, which should be seasoned.
2 of these are going to be reversed. We'll probably put 1 on hot and fast.
It's not a bad idea. Obviously the flavor is good, and I like to put it on here because what it does is it kind of helps to keep this in there, gives a little extra flavor, and then it acts as a binder when we go to put the secondary seasoning right before we throw it on the grill. So we're just going to give it a little spritz. There's all kinds of cool tricks. I know that the one that's hot now that everybody talks about is mayonnaise. That seems to be the thing that everybody's using these days, is you take a little bit of mayonnaise and you rub some mayonnaise on there, because mayonnaise is, you know, mostly oil. So, but the thing is that it's oil. Oil definitely brings flavor, but this is duck fat, so it's a good flavored oil. It's not just some, not just some canola oil. When you go to the grocery store, when you get tenderloins at the grocery store, because it's so expensive, they don't, you know, you're lucky that you even got it this much in terms of having the silver skin removed, because they tend not to even do that. They just kind of clean them off, they peel them up, and they'll leave the silver skin on there because the process of removing that silver skin is obviously taking weight off, and this is sold by the pound. Now, most of the time, after you purchase it, after they give you the sticker, you can say, can you clean up the silver skin, and then they'll take the silver skin and clean it off, and it's gonna probably end up being, you know, a quarter, 50 cents, depending on how many you have, you know, up to $1 or more. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna clean off some of the silver skin, because you can see this piece right there will not break down, because it looks like it's a big chunk of fat, but it's just connective tissue. And you can do, you know, there's really not much you can do with this. What I do at the school is when we clean up tenderloins, and I have a pretty fair amount of this product, I freeze it, and then once I've accumulated a good deal of it, then I will roast it, and I'll use it to fortify a beef stock, which is about all you can do with it. It's not going to work great for making a beef stock, but to add it into a beef stock, and that's just so I can squeeze every little scent out of it.
If I didn't take this out, I've got a chewy bite ahead, or somebody's got a chewy bite ahead.
I'm gonna have a little chewy bite on there, and you can see that on this piece it's kind of close to the head of the tenderloin. So you have, you know, kind of like the muscles in 3 pieces, and they're kind of held together by this little piece of silver skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove this, and then we'll put it back together. This is the reason why when you see these steaks that come from this part of the tenderloin, oftentimes will have a little piece of string around them tied together. Yeah, because when you clean this out,
I saw some string around here if you want to tie this up.
Oh yeah, we can definitely tie that up.
Cool.
Because this way we'll have this removed, and then these are, like I said, the pieces that come off of the head. So these wouldn't be what we would consider the filet mignon, or the Chateaubriand, which comes out of the center section of the tenderloin. This is kind of at the head. And I probably would do a much better job of doing this if I had a boning knife instead of using my chef's knife, but I'm just trying to do it quick with the chef's knife. So now you see it's all cleaned out. So, and then we can roll it back together like this. As it cooks, there will be a little bit of a natural adhesion process that'll go on. Look, we got a little bit more here that I missed, this last little piece right there. And the technique is just get underneath it and then just take your knife and run your knife.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at the silver skin and buying is based on how little there is.
Right.
I was looking at thickness and shape, but I wasn't looking for that.
But this piece is a little bit further away. You can tell that these pieces were probably pretty close to each other, and they went together something like this. Looks like there might have been one piece in between them.
You're going to use this our friend Dwayne, Tennessee Thunder.
The Tennessee Thunder.
I've been playing with this, and I find it very B&O-esque, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he went with Thunder because this is the Lightning. So you got the White Lightning and the Tennessee Thunder. So very similar. Ooh, it comes out fast too, huh? Very similar composition here. Very similar taste profile. And this one's kind of. These are nice and big. Yeah, you can smell the garlic and the onion.
Yep.
And we're gonna just get a little bit of the Tennessee Thunder on there, and then the tomahawk. Go ahead and hit
now
this
you wouldn't
up.
normally take the trimming to that, would you?
No. On this one, no. That's part of what some people look forward to is actually chewing that piece. So it's not my thing, but I do know I have friends that they like to, look at that spinalis.
Now what is
gorgeous.
This? Is that the heart?
That's the eye. The eye, the rib. It's looks good. I mean, this is the cut here where you have the bigger portion of the spinalis and a smaller eye, which is the kind of part I like.
Right.
Because you get into the other ones where you have, the bigger eye and the smaller spinalis. So yeah, this looks pretty good.
Very nice looking.
I think we're good. We got these seasons. So then, I think what we should do now is we'll hit them with a little bit of the duck fat, and then we'll sprinkle a little bit of the heifer dust on there.
I would like to see that over here.
Definitely. Okay,
I think, I want to put the Hardcore Carnivore.
The Hardcore Carnivore on the tomahawk.
Tomahawk, yes.
All right. So we're gonna use this to kind of help hold this in. Hold the seasoning up.
Now in this case, especially with the tenderloins, they can take a little more flavor. So nothing wrong with seasoning them and all the way through.
No, the tenderloins, there's not a ton of marbling on here, and fat is flavor, so you definitely want to put something on there to give some additional flavor. And Ben's heifer dust, one of the favorites at our house for sure. Both my kids, they love.
That's the only thing that came out of the kitchen. I didn't have any of that at home. I will.
Oh yeah.
Because I keep forgetting. I don't have a lot of Montreal-esque. The only thing that's missing here that I can right off the top of my head is Malcolm Reed's Killer Hog. There's some of my buddies at Pit of Heaven and the Be Extreme team have some other product that we need to get more into, but the heifer dust I can see is in my future. Yeah, that's beautiful.
On brisket, this is great on brisket. This is what at the Recteq Academy we use this on the brisket. You want to explain the Hardcore Carnivore?
Our good friend Jess Pryles, I'm wearing her shirt today. It's activated charcoal with some other goodies in there. I find it has a really interesting color, obviously with the dark, almost near black.
Yep. Look at that, almost like cracked pepper, or just the exterior of the black pepper, without any of the interior of the kernel.
So this will be fun to see what this tomahawk kind of comes off. But we're gonna reverse sear that. That's probably gonna sit for 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, so if this reverse sears, then this carbon will definitely help to get you that nice, beautiful crust on there, and get that sear marks. I'm gonna put a little bit on the edge here too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this one is.
The last time I did a tomahawk, I was using the Hardcore Carnivore. It's a nice finish.
All right, so we got tomahawk done. We got tenderloins done.
Strips and the T-bone are last but not least. Here's again. I had to buy the Shiner Box because we got a lot of Texas going on. Jess is Texas. A lot of the extreme guys are Texas.
Yeah, Texas, the extreme. Trust in the dust, Texas dust.
Poncho and Lefty are Texas. Anyway, so we're having a little Texas thing here. We got 2 beautiful strips, and the T-bone. So that's going to go hot and fast. Probably hot and fast here on the strips too. So we're going to reverse sear here and here, but hot and fast for a lot of the rest because we got 3 grills. We're going to have some fun out there.
So, and we'll go back to the White Lightning.
Yep, understood, agreed.
And again, just a little nice little generous sprinkle of the White Lightning. Get those well. I'm gonna give them a little flip. I'm gonna put these kind of back together a little bit to keep the overspray down. And start there. Yeah, the White Lightning can come out fast too if you're not careful. Especially as you get down towards the end of the
Yeah.
And it seems like I'm always at the end of the bottle here.
All right, and I'm just gonna kind of, again, soak that up a little bit. And then so we're gonna go Texas style on these guys and put some of this extreme Texas dust on the strips here.
That's a great idea.
Terry Roan and his buddies.
Yeah, look at that. And you can see there's a little bit of when you look at all of these seasonings, I think someone could probably sit down and do a chart that probably breaks them into maybe like 4 or 5 basic combinations. And then what they're doing is each person's kind of tweaking the ratios a little bit. So you're getting the same basic ingredients, it's just that, if you like more pepper or if you want more chili powder in there, because some of these definitely have some chili in there. Some of them, also if you're trying to stay away from sugar, you want to look at the ingredients because a lot of these do put just a little bit of sugar in there, and the sugar does 2 things. One, obviously, a little tiny bit of sugar with the savory just helps to really boost it up. But also, when you're grilling it and you're trying to get some nice some color on there, the caramelization in addition to the Maillard definitely helps to increase the color. So those things are definitely helpful. We do some Poncho and Lefty.
Beautiful.
Because I tasted.
Roland and Company, they're great guys too.
Yeah, I tasted this one. This one had something that I would call that flavor that makes me go, I don't know what that is. It kind of tasted maybe a little bit like anise or fennel. It had almost a little bit, and see if you smell it too, you get a little bit of that Italian sausage smell to it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of anise or fennel in this one, and it's so I'm gonna give this a shot on here. I think it should be good.
I mean, Lisa Guadney, world food champion. The boys at B&O won the steak cook-off. The whole shebang. So do these guys. Jess is a pro in her own right.
Yeah.
Chris Lilly's over there. Fun stuff. And the only one that I buy in the supermarket, I only brought it here just because I want to talk seasonings for just one last second. This is probably the first seasoning I ever used in my life. I mean, we're talking 25, well, maybe 40 years ago now. But the Cavender's, it's great for flank. I like it on burgers. I wouldn't put it in this category yet, but it's still, and I don't know why I have such a small bottle, but we go through a lot of this. Lamb,
yeah.
I love it on lamb. And
this is fantastic for like these proteins. And we do have a couple of things, but if you don't have a whole lot of side items going on, then I usually like to have something that maybe has a little bit more of spices and a larger selection of taste profiles in there to get. But when you're going with a lot of other side items and stuff, then I definitely do like to use that.
I've never met Lisa, but we've talked a lot on the phone. They're 3rd generation. They're great people. Johnny Joseph right there, baby.
Yeah, let's put a little bit of that. Flip these guys over. And just, a nice little sprinkle from up high. And
nice.
Good.
What a beautiful,
Excellent.
Look at the hardcore already, just the color it looks like it's almost been cooked.
It does.
Or it's been dry aged a while and getting a little wet.
Biscuits and stuff. Most of the smoke flavor happens within the first 3 hours.
Right.
And then after that, you're not really getting much more smoke flavor in there.
But on a hot and fast steak,